Alberto Ozuna, sorry, man. I truly feel bad for you. It sounds, he put out that letter on his social media detailing his situation. It sounds like he truly had the best intentions in heart and was lied to. Again, I wasn't there. Just reading, what's out in the world. I do hope that he gets to play again this year. I hope it's for the Vols. We'll see, though. Steamers, what's up? This is the first time I've gotten to intro this show. That's pretty exciting, and it's going to be a solo episode. Just me today. Mr. Watkins is one of the busiest, most hardworking men that I know, and as great as that is to be his coworker, his co-host, it sucks sometimes because he will bail on you. It's no fault of his own. Like I said, busy guy, loving husband, loving father, fantastic guy to work with, and, has a lot on his plate. So today, he has entrusted me to carry on the Steamer legacy, Steamer show, if you will. So hope you're ready for a full dose of Thomas Wharton analysis. You get a little bit of it on a weekly basis, but it's all me today. So I hope y'all are ready. Let's start. Like we said, we've kind of reshuffled the topics we talk about. This started as a football show. It will continue to be a football show. I'm sure I will have at least one Josh Heupel fast-paced offense reference here, maybe even Jeremiah T. Lander. I love him. Who knows? But today, as we sit here, March 14th, 2025, year of our Lord, producer Dalton's laughing at me. Well, I'll get producer Dalton. He's all mic'd up for me today. You want to say hi to the folks?
Hello.
There we go. He's got more of a face for radio, so he'll just be chiming in. He's my stats and info for today. But let's get through the topics. We're going to touch on Lady Vols basketball, men's basketball, and then baseball a little bit too. I'll touch on why I'm not going to talk too much about softball as well. But it is March. The calendar has flipped to March. We're about halfway through it, and it is postseason time for everybody. The Lady Vols were 1-1. They won their opening round against Texas A&M, but then lost to Vanderbilt. So they are kind of in limbo right now. Selection Sunday, although their conference tournament was a week ahead of the men's, Selection Sunday for them is the same as the men's. So we will find out Sunday afternoon. Producer, I think.
Yes.
Doesn't really matter the time. We'll be watching it. Right now, it's looking like they're a 5 seed, which if you look at their overall record, it's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But if you look at the hype that Coach Caldwell and the girls have kind of garnered this year, some of the big wins, a la UConn, going undefeated in non-conference play, almost undefeated, I think. I don't know. Who knows? All the hype they've gotten. You look at their record and their ranking. I believe the AP had them at 20, and you're like, it kind of seemed like it feels like they should be a little bit higher. But we're looking at it right now, projected 5 seed. If I'm gonna reference my laptop here, right now they have us as a 5 seed playing Ball State in the first round. If you were to compare that to last year, just apples to apples, the Lady Vols were a 6 seed, so slight improvement. I think from a program momentum standpoint, it's a massive improvement, right? If you look at the recruiting class coming in and just the overall feel of those Lady Vol basketball games, huge. But we all knew this year wasn't going to be the year, still could be, obviously. But wasn't going to be, we're not hanging banners, we're not setting program records. But I do feel as we go into March Madness, as we see what this team can do in the tournament, the momentum's there. We talk about it all the time. Watkins would echo me almost exactly in what I'm saying now. So what stands out to what got us here? Coach Caldwell was able to attack the transfer portal and get a lot out of the girls that were still here. But I'm so ridiculously excited for this recruiting class to come in, not only because it's the number 2 recruiting class in the country, at least last time I checked, but we are so senior heavy on this team. Whether it's the next game or maybe it's the, NCAA championship, whatever game is the final game for these Lady Vol seniors who either have transferred in under Coach Caldwell or like seniors like Tess Darby, who's been here for 5 years, they're leaving a hole with their, taking their productivity, their points, their rebounds, their assists, that these talented young ladies can come in next year and just hit the ground running. So that's all I'll say about the Lady Vols. Pumped to see where they end up. Again, likely a 5 seed. They have us at Ball State. Something about the women's tournament, it doesn't seem to be as upset heavy We can talk about why that is. I think it's just a pure talent dispersion. So I like us at least to the Sweet 16 if you're asking my prediction, and then, we'll just see what the matchups are there. But I say this is the last thing. I might get into this. The environment, the way that our games kind of went, not so much down the stretch, but in that, when you mix in that UConn win and then all those top 10 games that we lost by a point or two, I really like us to pull some upsets. Once we get into the Sweet 16, it's 5 versus, who would it be? 5 versus 4?
In the Sweet 16?
Maybe.
Likely, yeah.
I don't know. Numbers aren't math is not mathing. I don't like when people say that, but it does make sense in this sense. So anyway, I think any higher seed that we do play is on upset alert. We'll see though. Be fun. Selection Sunday is always a good time. Kickoff to March Madness. Start charting in your brackets. Speaking of brackets, let's talk about the men's team. They are heading down, I believe, today. I think JP told me that they are leaving today to go to Nashville. The opening games for the SEC tournament are tonight. Super exciting. You may not watch them, and I don't blame you if you do because it's all the crappy teams. But you got South Carolina, Arkansas. Arkansas probably needs to make a run in this tournament to get to March Madness. So we'll see there. South Carolina's out of it. You got Texas, Vanderbilt. More on that in a second. You got LSU, Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State in that one. LSU hasn't shown me really anything. They played us hard when we were down there, but, Baton Rouge is a hard place to play. It doesn't really matter what sport you're talking about. And then Oklahoma, Georgia. Gosh, I could care less about that one. Oklahoma, Georgia. that's two sorry teams. Georgia's dangerous, though. Georgia's dangerous. Let's talk about Texas, Vanderbilt. The reason why I want to put some emphasis there is because the winner of that game will play Texas A&M tomorrow, and the winner of that game will play your Vols. So, obviously, key in on this one. Vanderbilt, we split the series with. Did we play Texas?
We did. We beat Texas.
We beat Texas. That, Dalton, I'm going to need you here.
I got you.
Who is the character in Breaking Bad who sells the chicken?
Because I have not seen Breaking Bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I haven't either, which is why I'm asking, so I can't really judge. But the coach for Texas looks just like him every time I think about it. And I don't even watch the show. And I don't even really watch Texas basketball. But he's done a below subpar. Subpar is the word.
It's Gus, played by Giancarlo Esposito.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fun fact. If you watched any of Texas basketball and or Breaking Bad, you've already made that connection in your head. It's just something, every time I see him, I'm like, funny. We will see how that game goes. I think if this is not a bold prediction by any chance because the seeds would just hold. I do think we are, come Friday at 3:30, we are playing Texas A&M. And it'll be interesting because we go to their place. This was a few weeks ago. And it was a dogfight by all means. Zakai hits that clutch 3 at the end of the game. We close it out. Top 10 road win. Talked about it on this show and then on recap as well. But a key factor in that, and I was listening to the radio hearing about this as well, Wade Taylor did not play well in that game. Did not play that. Now, he is officially UNC status, if you will. That's what people are saying. He has been there for absolutely forever. So, and he's a great player. I think he was, first team All SEC. So the chances of him just chucking up a dud of a game like he did at home the last time we played him, probably not likely. We will see. This is also probably not a hot take, Dalton. You can chime in here as well. SEC tournament, it's one of those cool if you do well, but doesn't really matter deal. We had unarguably the best season in terms of postseason placement in 20 years last year. All the way to the Elite Eight. You run into, Zach Edey. Say what you want about him. I have nothing nice to say, so I won't say anything at all. That's, something it's a principle my mom instilled in me. Shout out, Mom. And we get beat first round of the SEC tournament. Mississippi State comes in and just smacks us. Very hard game to watch. And then you go on a run all the way to the Elite Eight. So, come Friday, let's just say it's A&M, 4 seed versus 5 seed. We know how the SEC's been this year, so it would not shock me at all to see Texas or Vanderbilt as well. And then obviously I like our matchup a little bit more, but nothing's given. But also if you lose, so what? Right? So what? not to go in there, we talk about this all the time. Watkins is the resident optimist, so if I'm being a little bit pessimistic, just know it's my nature. Okay, I'm just being myself here, but not that our fan base would ever overreact to any loss ever, because we're the most common sense, middle of the road fan base in the world. I'm clearly joking. I don't think a poor result on Friday should really affect us whatsoever heading into the tournament. That being said, let's be a little bit optimistic. The Vols are a 2 seed right now. No one's really going to fight you on that. But a rematch that I would like to see from earlier in the year is Auburn. Auburn is the bona fide 1 seed. A lot of people, basically everybody, are saying they are the number 1 overall seed. So I will open the floor up to the comments. If Tennessee wins the first game, let's just say don't enter opponent, Vols beat them. They go in the semifinals and beat Auburn. And I'm going to end the hypothetical situation right there. Dub versus enter team, beat Auburn, go to the finals. Win, lose, or draw in the finals, obviously you can't draw, are the Vols a 1 seed. It's an interesting argument. One that I wish my co-host Watkins was here to have with me. But I can't have it with myself, and Dalton doesn't really have much of input, so I'd like to hear from you. By the time you're watching this situation may have already played out, so we would know. I mean, especially if you're watching it Sunday afternoon. But Vols beat A&M, Texas, Vandy. Vols beat Auburn. Let's just say they don't win the championship. Are they a 1 seed? Who knows? I would love to see a 1 seed.
I don't think we will have a 1 seed unless we win the SEC tournament.
There you go. It's good take. We also could win the SEC tournament and still not be a 1 seed.
Right.
But listen, you go back through how bad Tennessee sports has been, although basketball has been one of the mainstays in the last probably half decade. 2 seeds fine. We'll be all right. I'm cool with that. As of bracketology stands right now, we are the 2 seed in the East Division, East Region, that's what it is, playing Robert Morris, and then if the seeds would hold, would play Marquette. Give me that draw 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. So we'll see. Again, Selection Sunday is just, it's the best. And I think, again, not a hot take day today. I got to save those for Watkins when he can laugh at me. Although he's the one with the hot takes. He's the one predicting, 15 total touchdowns in a football game. Nuts. But the Thursday, Friday opening of March Madness, best 2-day combo in sports. You can't beat it. I mean, listen, the national championship in football this year was drawn out. The ratings were crap, is what it is. What else? What else is there really to compare, right? I think college baseball is great, but no one's going to even talk about college baseball in March Madness. I mean, there's a reason why the whole bracketology, people start talking about it in early January of like who's in, who's out. It's like because it all leads up to this. There's not a better 2-day combo where you can sit on your couch. Hopefully you have more than one television screen. If you have one, you just better keep that remote active. And you get a little Domino's pizza. Domino's or Papa John's, Dalton?
Papa John's.
Okay, that's good. That's a good call. I'm going to switch to Papa John's as well. Get some freaking delivered pizza, and you just flip because games start at 11, maybe it's noon, and they roll until for basically 48 consecutive hours. How long have you had a perfect bracket for?
I've made it to the Sweet 16 one time.
That's impressive.
And then it got busted out in the Sweet 16.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite things to do for all of this is to get just all your buddies together, ESPN app, bracketology. We never wager any money off of it, so as soon as we get past that first weekend, maybe if it's a good year, that second weekend of the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, no one cares. And, I never win, but if I were to win, I wouldn't win anything. So it's like, is it really worth it? We will see, though. Selection Sunday, this Sunday, Vols are projected to be a 2 seed. Let's pivot to baseball. This will be the last one. This is a short episode because I can only talk to myself for so long. I don't know if you're a longtime steamer, longtime viewer, you've seen me and Watkins. We kind of just feed off of each other. There's not a ton of research that goes into this. Both of us are just diehard Tennessee fans, so we don't have to conjure up and research topics to talk about. We just haven't, because this is how typically the majority of my day goes with the people I work with and also go to school with, is just all Tennessee sports all the time. So I don't have a ton prepared for you today, and I apologize. But like I said, you're just getting a treat of just me. So if we like this may be a mainstay. I may just kick Watkins out. See ya, man. Don't even come back. Tennessee baseball, as of Tuesday night, is the last remaining undefeated team in the nation. This is a fast start has kind of been a mainstay under Tony Vitello. I know we set a program record 15 straight wins in 2019, and that was the first year, I was not in school yet, but that was the first year that the nation as a whole, the college baseball kind of atmosphere started taking Tennessee seriously. Look, these guys actually are doing something, because we've been so bad for the decade plus before that, really almost 2 decades, I guess, since 2005. But Vols are, give me the record, 18 now? 19-0?
I believe it's 18-0. Let me double check.
We'll call it 18.
Yeah.
Call it 18. 18-0. Last night, West Georgia, a team new to Division I, comes in
17-0.
17-0. Well, I mean, maybe I'm foreshadowing. Who knows? West Georgia comes in. Midweek games, I never like to count them, man, because you're throwing upwards of 7 pitchers. Your lineup is probably your day-to-day weekend lineup until about the 5th inning, and then it's like you get a pinch hit B, or you get an AB. You get an AB. Pinch hit, pinch run, whoever. So 4-2 win for them gets them to 17-0. Now's when it gets real, though, right? We've talked on the show, we get to play Xavier and St. Bonaventure and, West Alabama School of the Blind. Now, SEC play. I got the chance to be on the porch last night. It is the greatest environment in sports, I think. I mean, nothing beats sitting in Neyland Stadium as the balls are running through the tee. Nothing beats it, right? But if you're looking for a clear, definitive second place, I think it's got to be the porches on a competitive SEC/playoff game. Dalton, you agree?
I agree.
I mean, if you get the chance to, and maybe we'll have some opportunities to take some of y'all on there as the season progresses, it's the greatest thing. Whoever put those in, because, a long time ago, it was just one, not too long ago, actually, it was just one row. And then Tennessee Athletic Department and Danny White's, brilliant mind was like, oh, we should just do another level. And then, 2's not enough, let's do 3. I think, foreshadowing, there might be just 10 rows. We just might keep going up. Who knows? Can't hit a ball out of the stadium because there's 10 rows of porches, 15 stories up. Who knows? If I was in charge of construction, that would have already been done already. We wouldn't be doing any of this gung-ho stuff behind the home plate, but it's fine. That's why I'm not. That's why I'm a podcast host. 17-0, going into Florida. You can't really be disappointed in anything. I mean, one of the lower ERAs in the country. We've hit more home runs, fun fact here, more home runs through 17 games than Tony Vitello's team in 2018, first year he took the job, hit in their whole season. They hit, I'm going to get the number wrong, is upper 40s. Let's call it 48 home runs in 52 games in 2018. They've hit 50 plus in 17. It's actually insane to think about. Like, if this type of dominance, let's just call it resurgence, was happening in a more covered sport, college basketball, football, I mean, it'd be the talk of the town. You'd have people over in, Serbia and Uruguay talking about how insane the Tennessee Vols are. But because college baseball is not as covered, you just don't really see it. That being said, I can talk up Tennessee baseball all year, the rest of the show, which is basically what the rest of the show is going to be. But Florida comes to town. What is Florida ranked?
Florida is currently ranked. Last I saw, they were 5.
Top 5 in the country, let's call it. Florida's been, the SEC has been
7.
7. I gave him a little slack. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Who knows? Florida, the SEC has been the baseball conference for the last, I think, probably 3 years. I mean, you have the Vols as a powerhouse, LSU, Vanderbilt's waned as of time, but they had those 2 national titles in the early 2010s. So the entire conference gauntlet as it starts, I mean, it's kind of how basketball was this year. There's a clearly defined best conference overall. You can make the argument, here's my football reference for the show. You can make the argument with Big Ten and SEC in terms of just football, but if you look at everything else, it's the SEC. So any series going into from today, the rest of the season, it's going to be, it's going to test the water. I love this being the first one though, because I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Does not get any better. I mean, we're going to play Texas. We're going to play Vandy. We play all those teams, but like might as well get a top 10 opponent in Lindsey Nelson. Let's see what we got. And boy, do I like our chances. Liam Doyle is making his case for being, I don't want to say the number one overall pick, but I definitely want to say the first college pitcher off the board. The MLB draft massively confuses me because, and shout out to every MLB scout out there, because you're talking to 16-year-olds, right, getting ready to go into their senior year of high school in the scouting process, that is. And you're also talking to 23-year-olds getting done with their fifth year at maybe their third different school. Wild. There's not a sport out there that does that as consistently and as, has the format of which that MLB does. Absolutely crazy. But Liam Doyle, almost over 2 strikeouts per inning. I mean, absolutely insane numbers. Hitting bombs, like I mentioned earlier, the way we did last year, if not more so. 8 grand slams. That's not even a stat you can truly comprehend, because hitting a grand slam is completely, opportunistic. Basically, you can't just conjure up a grand slam, right? As you can a solo home run. Absolutely nuts. I can tell I'm rambling here a little bit, so I think we'll just wrap it up. Vols welcome Florida to Lindsey Nelson. It's going to be a show. Again, porches are great. If you can just, sneak your way into the stadium, it's going to be worth your while. Selection Sunday for both men and women this Sunday. We're going to find out who the Lady Vols and who the Vols are playing. I think that's all I got. So first,
Free Birdo.
Free Birdo. Gosh, I didn't even talk about it. The NCAA, tragic. That's another one of the classic themes of this show, is just the absolute downfall and mishandling by the NCAA of other things. Alberto Ozuna, sorry, man. I truly feel bad for you. It sounds, he put out that letter on his social media detailing his situation. It sounds like he truly had the best intentions in heart and was lied to. Again, I wasn't there. I'm just reading, what's out in the world. I do hope that he gets to play again this year. I hope it's for the Vols. We'll see, though. A lot going on in the NCAA. I'm not going to touch on that because it gets me fired up. We don't want that. It's all positive Vols sports here. That's why we call it More Steam. And thank you for watching this far. I will promise, I can't promise anything when I got to deal with Watkins, but I will do my absolute best. I will do my utmost to get him in that chair next to me next week so we can bring back to the regularly scheduled program. But for now, I'm Thomas Wharton. This is More Steam. I appreciate you guys. Go Vols.